Hey folks, Eric here, the Whatever Guy, because it really is whatever with me. And do you folks want to know what the DEA is stating about THCA flower? You guys stick around, man. I'll talk to you guys about that. As you guys know, man, my name's Eric, and I'm the Whatever Guy, and I usually shoot videos a couple days a week, basically keeping you guys updated in the world of Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, THCA, and just what's going on in the realm. And having said that, man, sitting here bullshitting around on an early Tuesday morning. And as you guys know, man, as we've moved into this minor cannabinoid space, THC flower has been a big splash in the marketplace. As you guys know, prior to this, or may not know prior to this, any flower that we have got in the minor cannabinoid space would have to be dusted, sprayed, dipped, some way infused with the distillate. They would infuse hemp flower with Delta 8 distillate or HAC. And a lot of times, and I've said over many, many videos, that's just a harsh, not a good way to smoke flower. With the advent of THCA flower, as we said many times before, that's as natural as it can get. Like it's grown out of the ground naturally. And the cool thing about it is THCA is actually the acidic form of THC. So when you pull that bud off that plant and test it, it tests with very low or no THC whatsoever. But that THCA, once decarboxylized, okay, or heated up, that THCA will convert into THC, and that's how we're getting high. So I have been on a THCA kick for quite a while, and THCA is a big time moneymaker in the minor cannabinoid space. And as we move forward to the 2023 Farm Bill, the 2018 Farm Bill actually ends at the end of this month, and they're supposed to be operating on a 23 Farm Bill. The majority of that Farm Bill is SNAP benefits and food stamps, but a small portion of it is what made these products legal for us in 2018. Now, moving forward, we have a couple articles, and a lot of people have been asking about the legality of THCA, and the answer is I really don't know, but I will tell you this. I will tell you that the majority of the people that are having discussions about this farm bill are not people that are proponents of hemp. They are people that are proponents of marijuana, and the marijuana people that spend all this money and all these bribes and stuff that they pay don't want to see you getting relief from anywhere but them. So they want to control this, and they want to kill this for everybody. Now, this really bothers me simply because as we move forward, I myself am looking into a location over in Pensacola, and I would like to bring forward THCA flower. My goal would be to have 10 or 15 strains of THC flower up on the shelf, and you guys could come in there and buy it, and pick the bud that you want. But if THCA gets killed on the other side, it's going to be a crazy situation, because in the minor cannabinoid space, we're talking about a $5 billion industry in the United States. So I'm going to switch over to an article right here over at Marijuana Moment. And this article is a little bit older. It's back in June, but this is about the newest news that I could find on anything THCA and anything that they're discussing with the 2023 Farm Bill. It says the Drug Enforcement Agency Administration is weighing in on the legal status of lesser known cannabinoids such as THCA, Delta 8 THC, and hydrogenated CBD. For those of you that don't know what hydrogenated CBD is, that would be your THCOs, your HACOs. Those are oxygenated on the other side, the same way they do with I think flour and stuff. And what it does is extends the life. They call it the apocalypse cannabinoid because it could basically last on your shelf forever. But those have already been stated by the DEA as illegal. Anything that is not cannot be naturally derived from the hemp plant has been considered illegal by the DEA. In a letter dated in June 9th, DEA said it was responding to a request for information about the scheduling status of cannabis components under the Controlled Substances Act. There has been some confusion about the legality of minor cannabinoids since hemp containing up to 3% Delta 9 THC by dry weight was federally legalized in the 2018 Farm Bill. The letter posted on Reddit and analyzed by attorney Rod Kite says that Delta 8 THC and THC hexyl are considered tetrahydrocannabinols. If products containing those naturally derived cannabinoids contain no more than 3% Delta 9 THC, they are regarded as legal hemp. If the cannabinoid exceeds the THC limit, it is a Schedule 1 controlled substance. Delta 8 THC has grown in popularity since hemp was legalized, entering the marketplace across the United States, including in states where marijuana remains prohibited. But it's often produced through a synthetic process that converts natural CBD into the intoxicating cannabinoid, and DEA has previously made clear that all synthetically produced cannabinoids are Schedule 1 substances. Okay, so the argument is that even though Delta 8 can be naturally derived from the hemp plant, it's not cost effective for us to do that. So what these processors or the extractors are doing is they're extracting the full spectrum CBD and then converting that CBD over to Delta 8 in a lab, and that is considered illegal. The agency is also in the process of developing a final rule that is expected to emphasize a synthetic cannabinoid ban under the existing statute. Kite's post about the new letter focuses largely on Delta-9 THCA, which is non-intoxicating but thought to possess anti-inflammatory properties. The DEA said that when assessing whether a plant is legal hemp or illegal marijuana, Delta-9 THCA must be accounted for in a post-decarboxylation test for total THC, which would basically kill the THC market in the United States. Like as it stands right now, if you go down to your medical marijuana dispensary, you walk in there, you can buy THCA. They don't mind selling you THCA as long as they're the ones that are producing it. But these guys don't want us to grow THCA and get it to you guys across the counter. It goes just like I said, guys, these people that are spending these millions of dollars to get these licenses and bribe these senators and everything that they're doing are not going to want to see you get relief from anyone but them. They want to take control of this and push this out of the market for us all the way around. Rod Kite, but Kite argues that the statute requiring decarboxylation testing only applies to production. So while it must be factored into the analysis of hemp that's actively being produced, the same is not true of cannabis after it's been harvested. In the right conditions, the concentration of Delta-9 THC can increase following harvesting. Because the Farm Bill specifically says that post-production hemp products cannot contain more than 3% Delta-9 THC, that makes natural derivatives like Delta-9 THCA federally legal. And basically what he's saying is because it's grown out of the ground and we're not doing any production of it, we're basically just pulling it off the vine and shipping it to whoever wants to ship it, then that basically is legal. Because we're not doing any type of production on the plant whatsoever. In summary, this DEA pronouncement is bound to create more confusion in an already confusing area of law. However, it should properly be read as simply restating the fact that hemp producers must comply with the total THC test in order to harvest their hemp. Kite wrote, post-harvest, the 2018 Farm Bill's definition of hemp clearly states that Delta-9 THC levels are what matters, not the levels of THCA. So what he's saying is basically Rod Kite, and he's a big lawyer in the hemp and cannabis space. This guy is basically stating that because we're not doing any production facilities on this hemp plant, that basically as it grows out the ground, when you test it, it tests for no THC, and that's how we're shipping it out. So it's basically legal. Now that's not 100% for sure what will happen on the Farm Bill. However, that is exactly what will happen in the future as far as this Farm Bill goes. I hope everybody appreciates the article. I apologize for being a little bit jawed up. I appreciate everybody asking me questions about THCA, but I don't know. I don't understand. Basically what it boils down to is like I said, THCA is the acidic form of THC, and it's not converted to THC until it's heated up. And when you grow a plant out of the ground, we are not doing any type of production on that plant whatsoever. We're basically pulling it, cutting it, putting it in a bag, and shipping it off to you with no production or no manufacturing whatsoever of the plant. So that's basically what Rod Kite is arguing. I can't guarantee that that's what's going to end up on the other end of this Farm Bill. As it stands right now, I don't think we're going to get a new Farm Bill at the end of October. I think we're a little bit further off. I'm not sure about the legality of it. I don't know if they can extend the current Farm Bill or how that works. But either way, I would be looking at some sort of rule change with this going forward. And it's simply because these cannabis operators are the ones that are actually pushing and forcing the direction of which way the Farm Bill is going to go. And there's not enough people up there in the hemp industry, in the hemp space, basically coming together to go in the same direction like cannabis is. Cannabis is all going in one direction, and everybody in the hemp space is basically running around just trying to get whatever money they can get. And we're not cohesive. And if we're not careful, we could find ourselves in a position where these products like THCA are completely banned. All right, folks, this is Whatever Guy signing off. Hope you're having a great week, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow, man. Love you. See you.